Vlogmas Day 3. We made it to day 3.
You know that I love you, wouldn't put no one above you. Yeah. That should never ever worry you. That should never ever worry you. Always gotta stay 100 and true. The only time I lie is when I lie with you. Put my pride to the side and then I slide with you. I'm just being true.
Honestly, y'all, when we're on like day 20 is when I'm gonna really feel it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Vlogmas, y'all, like this is dedication. This is real life dedication.
Like this is waking up before the kids get up dedication because y'all.
Yes, it's bright and early right now.
Okay.
Because the kids are still asleep.
Yes.
So we had to get up first thing in the morning. I'm probably looking all sleepy-ish. And
It's okay. It's okay though. we promised ourselves that this would be like, you know, us really putting ourselves back out there. It's hard. It's hard with 2 kids. It's hard in general. Just be consistent in life. Y'all know.
Yes.
But yeah, we really putting our best foot forward with this Vlogmas and we taking it serious.
Taking it serious. And they're not going to be in every single video because y'all.
It's just not possible. Also, Arlo goes to school. It's just a lot. I mean, maybe
we'll try any videos that we can get them in.
Yeah.
It will definitely begin. It is Sunday morning, y'all, and Sunday morning is a day we like to just relax and clean and
just to reset.
Prepare for the week. So happy Sunday. Thank y'all for tuning in on day 3. If you haven't already, go back and watch Vlogmas day 1 and 2. And I got a lot of things in store for today. I gotta get my hair done. So y'all see me tomorrow. And
it's gonna be new.
This bob is gone.
Wait, but comment down below because I was talking about it. I was like, I told Asia, I was like, I don't know what you did when you were sleeping, but I feel like she came back and the bob is like bobbing. All of a sudden, the bob is rejuvenated.
It's alright. It's alright. It's still not the bob that I prefer.
Comment down below, y'all, if y'all feeling the bob because I'm like, hold on.
It's alright. It's alright.
It's cute.
I like my bob. Okay.
She does. She likes it very
yes,
slim and trim. And but it's looking good to me. Shoot.
You're so sweet. You look good as always.
Stop.
Come on, y'all. Look at his length. Look at his growth. Okay?
I can. The way you still pulling it.
This is like it's a scar.
I can't.
It's so long. Y'all.
It is long. It is long.
Like Soy's hair is just grown, y'all. I love it. That's so cute. Okay, let's get into it.
Oh yeah, so this is a much requested video. Basically, we never really went into, and this is gonna be a story time type video. So listen, what y'all doing is Sunday, okay? You know, it's normally that's our upload day. So it's Sunday. Go get you a nice little warm hot chocolate, hot cocoa, whatever you need, okay?
This is basically what we're gonna do on Sundays. We're gonna do story time Sundays as if it was like a regular posting just during Vlogmas, right? So just prepare that we're gonna vlog every day, but on Sundays we're gonna be posting real life sit down videos that we can do.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Also, not to get people too excited, but we are gonna have some pranks coming up. So just get ready because I already have one in my mind and I already know it's gonna be fire.
I don't trust it.
I know it's gonna be fire. But yeah, either way. Like Asia said, we are gonna be doing some sit down videos, some story time videos, trying to have them aim on Sundays. They might be throughout the week. We can't promise a thing, okay? But today's video is going to be about Teo's birth story and us sharing that because we haven't shared that yet and in full detail for you guys to know because it was actually very traumatic. It was very traumatic.
It was not the ideal delivery that we expected, and we're almost like coming up on a year. We're finally sharing this story. Teo is 9 months.
That's how traumatic it was, though.
Yeah, it'll be 10 months this month.
That's
but we're gonna give y'all a quick rundown. So we didn't really see much of y'all, or y'all didn't really see much of us during my second pregnancy, and part of it was because it was a really tough pregnancy. I was really sick a lot. I had hyperparesis, gravidarum.
Go ahead, girl. Remix that.
Can you put
I'll put the word
over here. Hyperparesis G. Okay, HG. So I had that early on in the pregnancy. Was hospitalized. I had to go to the hospital once, I think. And then the doctor prescribed me some medication. Try to really do my best to keep things down. It just really wasn't working. I was just super, super sick. Then I was like coasting in the pregnancy.
Second trimester got you right a little bit.
Yeah, things were getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
Third trimester, I'm like, sick. Both pregnancies, I had like this really bad metal taste in my mouth where there was nothing that could repair it. Like no gum.
No.
I brushed my teeth like 4 times a day, like after every meal. Like
it's probably like 6, honestly.
Like,
after every meal, she would scrub in that tongue.
That taste, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. It was just really bad. It's like having bad breath all the time. Like it just feels that way. Moving on.
Yeah. So really to get started on the birth story,
just want to give you guys a little background as to like how the pregnancy went.
So it started out crazy already. So for those of you that are following us, when Asia was pregnant with Arlo, she was overdue. She was overdue, had to get induced, and it was a very, I would say, subjectively smooth process getting induced with Arlo, because obviously it's birth, it's labor.
It's you're forcing your body to go into labor.
Right.
That is not like the natural quote unquote way, right? So you just like you're forcing the baby to come out when the baby may not be ready. Right. But that experience overall, it was good. We had good doctors, good nurses, like good team. Pre-pandemic,
heavy on the pre-pandemic,
because I think the pandemic definitely changed the way medical professionals operate. I think nurses are now overworked.
Yes.
Doctors are overworked, understaffed, and I just think that hospitals,
the level of care wasn't there.
It's just things have shifted, and for a lot of reasons, right?
Like, of course, healthcare workers, they went through the most during the pandemic, so it's not ever going to be a finger pointing thing where it's like you could have done this differently, but we are gonna notice when things.
We see how it was our first time around and our second time around.
And
2 different experiences. And I do think personally that the pandemic definitely shifted the way, not to say like, medical professionals are not, healthcare workers are not putting their best foot forward, but I do think that depending on what insurance you have, a lot of folks are just not getting paid what they should be getting paid. And they put their life on the line every day. Like, so, yeah.
100%. So I'm just going to talk about the induction process because that to me was the biggest red flag. We got scheduled, I think it was the 22nd, or no, the 21st was the induction date.
41 weeks to the day. So, or 39, no, 41, I was scheduled for an induction at 41 weeks, and that baby did not come. And
it was at night.
The insurance that we have, they will typically like wait it out to 41 weeks and then they'll schedule an induction. They will not, typically they don't let you go to 42 weeks. Now again, this is all subjective. Some people will prefer to like go all the way and not induce, which is perfectly fine. Like you do what might works best for you. I was very uncomfortable, very much in pain. It was that time. It was definitely that time. And it was just like, I'm ready. And not just I'm ready, my GYN also said it's time, right? So and
Asia just has a smaller frame, so it's a lot of extra pressure on her joints, on her hips, on her back.
Lots of weight,
it's just a lot of extra everything.
From what I knew, I was carrying a normal, average size baby, right? Not a big baby, not a small baby, average size. Right. It's about 7-pounder from what was told to me.
Right. Our first Arlo, he was measuring big from very early on. So we had extra scans, all these preparations, like talks about C-sections and all types of different things that could potentially happen with big babies.
Prepare my mind that, oh my gosh, like I'm carrying this big baby first time around.
Right.
Expectations, extra scans, extra visits, blah, blah, blah. Right? So, this time around, no extra visits, no extra scans.
Normal,
average size baby. Like you're good to go. You should be able to push this baby out. Or no problem. Okay?
Arlo was born 8 pounds 9 ounces. Just keep that in mind. 8 pounds 9 ounces. That was Arlo, and he was the big baby that we were like preparing for. So again, fast forward to induction. We were scheduled to come in. It was like a Wednesday night. We were getting ready. Asia's mom had already flew in. That was very important because we really had to like time her flight so that she was prioritizing being here on time. Like that's the only nice part about being. Stop. That's the only nice part about getting induced is that you get to control like who watches Arlo. He's already comfortable with grandma, like she's coming in, everything's great, right? So she's home. with him, comfortable, kind of set him up, you know, told him we'll be back in a couple days, all that stuff. And we go to and then we're getting ready to leave the house, and we see a missed call from Labor and Delivery. And they were.
And I already know.
Yeah. We didn't pick up.
When that phone rang, I said,
or they called
I know what they're calling for.
Yeah.
They're calling this to reschedule. Like, and I'm like, no. If we reschedule, if my mom goes back home, we're after. Because we don't have enough to babysitter. At the time, we didn't have a consistent child care giver.
Even if we did, most people cannot watch him like
on a fly
for 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours.
This will require somebody to be there overnight, right? Because like even for you know, when you're in the hospital, it could be anywhere from one day, you could go home the same day, possible, but you just never know what may happen. So you have to prepare for an extended stay and not just a 1 day stay. When you have kids. So
then we get the call. You took the call, and then they're trying to on the phone, like kind of coerce her, like, oh, like we don't have enough people. No, first thing that we don't have enough beds. We don't have any beds for you. And we were like, well, this is our scheduled date, so you should have a bed. Like we.
What do you mean you have a bed?
There's no way. And they're like, oh yeah, well, you know, more people just came in like were in labor, and then.
And if you're a healthcare worker, we love y'all, but don't come for us. Okay?
I mean, come for us if you want to, because I'm gonna come back. Because at the end of the day, when we tell the full story, you'll understand why. You'll understand why. So anyways, I was like not having it. I'm like, okay, we're gonna come in. Asia had been having pains off and on that entire day, shooting pains, all types of different pains all on her back. We were like, this is already the day. Let's just go. And they're like, well, we can come in and see you and monitor you for like a couple minutes, but like if there's no beds, like we're good to go. There you go, like clockwork. They're like, oh, if we can't, you know, if we can't get you a bed.
It's so early in the morning, y'all.
Like if we can't get you a bed, then we're just gonna go ahead and send you home. And we're like, well, let's see what happens then. So we're gonna drive our happy butts, hospital bags packed, to Labor and Delivery, and we pull up. And then as soon as we pull up, somebody intakes us. She was like, oh, you're here for the scheduled 9 o'clock induction. We're like, oh yeah.
I had the paperwork ready, like, the folder and all that. We're like,
that's
okay,
us.
So see, I didn't know we were coming.
So see, now this is where it starts to get a little tricky.
So they check us in. Okay. They admit us as if you're having this baby.
Right.
Great. Call my mom. Ma,
we good.
We're good. We're having a baby. Like, they're gonna start the induction process, right? So we're thinking, baby should be here tomorrow, right?
Just based off induction works, like
get me in the room, get me in my gown. They're like, okay, your nurse, your team will come in and go over the thing. They come in and they're like, we're understaffed.
They send in a resident.
Yeah.
Which I felt so bad because I'm like, I don't want to be Tiger Mom with you. Yeah. But now I'm being Tiger
After she's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why they like checked you in. I don't know why they admitted you. I don't know why they prepared you. All of this. We don't have enough staff. We can't do this. You got to go home. What? What do you mean? What do you mean I have to go home? I'm already in this gown, like
in a bed,
in a
room.
Me,
where the baby's born.
We're good to go. Yeah. Like we're in the room. They have the baby. You know when
the little baby catching
container thing when whatever it's called.
When the baby's born.
Yes, when the baby's born. They have all of that. So we are literally in the labor and delivery room that we're gonna have the baby in. And they come in and they say, oh no, we can't do this. Like we don't have enough staff. Need to go home. Right? So red flag number 2. Okay?
So now we're switching stories. So this is our thing. Consistency, right? They're being super inconsistent. It's either you don't have beds or you're short staffed. Pick one. Which one is it? Is it you don't have enough people to actually help and that way we're not gonna get the proper help we need? Or is it that you don't have enough beds? So that's for me, I was already a little irritated with that whole situation. And so then they were like, all right, we're just going to monitor you. And then eventually, if nothing happens, we're just going to, you know, send you packing. And we're like, well, you know, if that's what you need to do, sure. So then they hook Asia up to the little monitor things that measure your contractions. And you're going to keep going?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. They hook up Asia to the monitor things that measure your contractions. And then the resident comes back in. She's like, oh, yeah, you know, I just want to say again like how sorry we are, and again she's like super young. I'm like, I know you're not the person making the call. It's some attending that's like not trying to make their rounds to come say anything to us, and they're like, oh, just tell me to go home kind of situation.
Maybe this is not a good analogy, but it's like having your intern do your dirty work, essentially.
I mean, that's basically what
Right.
it felt like. I felt like
Yeah.
she didn't know why she was being told to tell us to
Yeah.
go home, but she was just kind of being like, I'm sorry, this is what I have to do. And like, she was like super uncomfortable. And then we were just like, she could just tell that we were not feeling it. Or, you know, it is what it was. Like, not her fault, not our fault, just a bad situation all around. So it just hooked up to the machines and they keep monitoring. Eventually they were like, they did a stress test on Teo, and every time Asia would have a big contraction, you'd see it on the charts going like this. Every time she'd have a really big contraction, his heart rate would just dip. And they were saying that it just wasn't coming back up adequately enough. So mind you, this is somebody was looking out. I'm just gonna keep always saying that. Somebody was looking out for us. Somebody was looking over Teo, looking over Asia, because at the end of the day, if we didn't push and if we weren't super persistent on staying and they just sent us home, things could have just went completely differently.
Right.
Because we don't have all of the machines to hook up to know if his heart rate's going up and down or whatever the case is. All we know is that they're saying we're fine and we can go back home, and that they're gonna call us to schedule a new date or whatever if we were to just let it happen, right? So that's why always advocate for yourself, advocate for whoever it is that is being cared for, because at the end of the day, medical professionals, they know a lot. They know, obviously they're professionals, but they don't know everything. They're not always right. And just like anyone can make a mistake on a job, they can also make mistakes. Yeah. And if they had let us go home that day, it would have been a mistake. Yeah. Potentially a fatal mistake. So it's just one of those things that we, looking back on it now, we're just happy that we stood our ground and we didn't just say, okay, we're just gonna go home, or like, okay, we just won't come in. Because once she didn't pass the stress test, go back to sleep, babe. Once she didn't pass the stress test, they couldn't let us go home. That was it. They were like, okay, well, we have to keep you because you didn't pass the stress test. Right. We're like, well, I guess it's not a bad thing that we are here then.
Yes. Okay. So then after that, so now we're capped, right? Again, I made it again. We're just never not unadmitted.
Officially admitted.
Yeah. So they get me going on the medication for the induction. So the nurse comes in and she's like, how you doing? I'm like, good, right? So she's like, okay, welcome back. Comes in again, she's up the dose and she's like, okay, I'll be back. I'll see how you doing. She comes back, she's like, how you doing? I'm like, good. And she's like, okay. Like side-eye kind of.
Mind y'all, every time they go up in the dosage of this Pitocin, she's supposed to be in excruciating pain because she hasn't gotten the epidural. And they're just pumping this stuff in, and it's like you can see on the charts. It's like these contractions
I'm feeling the contractions, but they're not. I'm not screaming, right? And even when I was giving birth to Arlo, I wasn't screaming in the room. Like, you know, pain management. So like mental, you know, I have my common music, things like that. So she comes in again, and she's like, "It's turned all the way up. Like, you're supposed to be like kneeled over, literally like." Something's a little bit off, right? And at this point, I'm looking at her like, okay, like something's off with you, like something's off with this whole thing. Like, I don't know, it just felt odd, right? So then she's like, well, I think we should get you the epidural and then break your water after. And I'm just like, I think we should break my water. They give me the epidural if I need it, right? And they're like, well, you know, the anesthesiologist, they change their shifts, they might not be available. So I really felt like I was like coerced into getting the epidurals earlier than what I wanted to. Like with Arlo, I didn't get the epidural until after my water broke. And it was like, all right, it's time to have a baby after that, right? So, of course, I did this on my own free will. No one like forced me. But they definitely guided me into the decision that they wanted. Yeah. So they gave me the epidural, which, whatever. Then they broke the water. And then all hell broke loose after that. It was just like rapid. Literally, they came in, and I'm gonna let Soy take this part of it because honestly, it's a blur. I don't remember. She tells the story, and I'm like, oh, that happened? Like, I don't remember. But anyways, go ahead.
So yeah, like I just said, they literally just broke her water, and like we're just preparing. She just got the epidural, so she was comfortable. We had literally just made a little TikTok, I think, and we were literally just preparing for like delivery soon. So we were like, all right, let's take a little nap. You know, she was chilling. She's hooked up to the monitors. Everything seems fine. Obviously, the monitors are hooked up to the nurse station, and they're monitoring every time she has a big contraction, what's happening. So every time she had a big contraction, his heart rate would just keep going like very, 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 very low. Mm-hmm. And then it just wouldn't pick back up. And they got to the point where I guess it just wasn't coming back up at all. Mm-hmm. So they all rushed in. And when I tell you they're like flicking the light, I literally was about to go take a shower. Like it was like that dramatic. And so they come in, they're like flicking all the lights on, they're running in. And I'm not talking about like, before we had maybe at most 3 people in the room, there is at least 7 people in the room. So they're coming in, they literally pick up Asia. And mind you, she is 10 months pregnant at this point. Like, pick her up, like she weighs nothing. And they're like, you have to shift, you have to shift, you have to shift. And she's like, what's going on? So they're like trying to like reposition the sensors, like put different things to see if they can get a reaction. His heart rate's still not coming up, still not coming up. So then they have her on all fours on her hospital bed, and they're trying to like figure out if they can get some kind of like different heartbeat. And they get it to be they didn't get it to be stable. They literally take her on all fours on the hospital bed and wheel her out.
Yeah. So this is when,
and they just push me, and they're like, you can't go.
And this is where I start to, like, I can tell this part because she wasn't there. Yeah. So we get there, and the doctor is like, you know, the heart rate is low. We're prepping you for emergency C-section. Before we do that, let's just check one last time to see how far along dilated you are, because maybe you can potentially push if, you know, things are going okay. So the heart rate starts to go back up, and the doctor's like, okay, let me check you. 7 centimeters. She's like, it's not enough. We're gonna have to prepare for a C-section. It's just like you're just not far enough dilated in order to like push, right? So I'm like, oh gosh, okay, let's do this. Let's make it happen. And then she's like, let's wait a little bit. Let's see what goes on. So she's like, okay, the heart rate went back up. So I'm like, okay, so like cool, like let's wait it out. And when she said that, it literally dropped like so low. And she looked at me, and I looked at her. I said, well, we're gonna have a baby. You're gonna deliver this baby right now. Like, I'm not playing this tit for tat. Yeah. Let's wait. Let's see. We're not gonna do that. My wife is not in here. I'm not about to die on this table. No, man. Like, we're gonna deliver this baby right now, literally. So then I basically called the order, said, y'all need to deliver this baby, because it was just like, I just felt like time was of the essence, and they were trying to like, you already rolled me in here with the understanding that we're going to deliver this baby. And now you're like, oh, let's just wait it out. No. We're not doing that, because his heart rate had dropped so low. And if y'all wasn't prepared to give me a C-section, like, why are we here?
Right. If it wasn't that dire, like,
right.
It was scary. It was like, yeah, all of this, and to be like, oh, well, maybe we'll be fine. It's like, that's just insane. Like, no, that's the right call.
Yes. And the doctor was like, you know what? Yes, we're going to deliver this baby. I said, great, let's have a baby. It was really traumatic because it was a lot of pushing, and if you have had a cesarean section, it's a lot of pulling, it's a lot of tugging. Even though they numb you still feel the pressure. It's not painful. It is. Like, it's just a different type of pain. So finally, I think Soy comes in at this point. They deliver the baby, pull the baby out, and he's not crying. Yeah, he's not crying. And I'm like, why is the baby not crying? Like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, they're just trying to like focus on me. And I'm like, where's the baby? Like, where's my baby? Like, what's going on? She's like shaking at
this point. Also, because he didn't get delivered vaginally, he just had a lot of extra fluid everywhere. He was a big baby.
Huge.
He was a big
9 pounds, 2 ounces. You remember when they said I was having an average size baby?
Yeah.
No, I had a big baby, 9 pounds, 2 ounces. Yep. So who knows what would have happened if I would have tried to push him out. People push out big babies all the time. I'm not saying that's not a possibility. But my thing is, what was y'all gonna tell me that this baby was 9 pounds?
After he was born.
Like, what?
They literally did the scan, the measurement thing based off the length of her belly. Like, and they were like, oh, he's gonna be around 7 pounds.
I'm like, this belly is huge.
Yeah,
like, this is bigger than my last belly. This belly is gigantic. Like, I felt like it was so heavy. Yeah. And yeah, it was just different. So anyways, they finally are able to get him to cry, and then they have to take him into the NICU, which was very scary time for me, for Soy, for everybody, my family. Like, we just didn't know. Like, the way it all went down, I'm not gonna say that they projected it, that this was gonna happen, but they definitely had an agenda from the moment that we didn't leave and they kept us there. I don't know, things was just moving shifty in that hospital.
I don't know. I think for me, it's like I just sense that they didn't want us here. Like we're almost like a burden. So it's like if that's how we're feeling, I'm sure they're also emitting that energy out into the universe. But at the end of the day, like I said, somebody's looking out. And it turns out the reason why they couldn't get a good read on the monitor is because Teo was rotated.
Yes.
Asia's entire uterus was rotated 45 degrees.
Yeah, it was shifted. So that's why it was like really difficult to even get him out when they were doing the C-section. It was lots of pressure. Like I was like,
and her organs were there. They cut her open, and then you expect to see it was her organs right there. And so again, somebody was looking out because at the end of the day, if we had went home, they said that the doctor that delivered him was like, oh yeah, no, if y'all had gone home,
like who knows? He would have.
Well, she knew what. Yeah, she knew. She was like, it would have been fatal. That's what she said. And she was like, I've never seen anything like this before with the rotated uterus.
In my medical profession.
Yeah. Right. And she'd been a doctor for 20-something years.
Yeah. She's like, I've never seen anything like this before. And it is just really scary to know that things could have took a turn for the worse, and to be in the NICU, to be in the hospital, to have experienced that. The trauma, the energy, it was just like, it was a lot. It was a lot. Like we did a lot of crying, we did a lot of like worrying. It's so funny because when they had Teo in the NICU and, I just had,
major surgery.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, what it is.
Giving birth, and of
major
course
surgery.
I was in a lot of pain, and they were like, oh, like, you can come see the baby whenever. The way I was over there, y'all, like,
they're supposed to wheel her, because again, she just...
Yeah, they took too long to bring the wheelchair.
So why did she hobble herself over there?
I'm going over there to see my baby. You're not going to stop me from seeing my baby. And you know what? I don't like schedule visits. I like to just pop up on these doctors, because when you schedule things, they're like, oh, they expect you to come. No. I just want to show up, because, like, you should be doing your job at all times. So, and let me tell you something. Teo came in this world fighting, and I could hear him down the hallway screaming, and I was like, yep, that's my baby. So yeah, that's our little turnip tea, and
that's him.
He came in the world fighting. He fights every day. That's just his personality. It's so funny because the way he was in the belly, the way he was when he came out, and the way he is now, it's like the same kid. It's like the same kid.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like so.
Yeah, that's our story time. That's how Teo got here. Probably the reason why we haven't shared it is because, reliving this, it's traumatic. We are still healing from it. As you can probably tell from the way we told the story, a lot of distress still in just how it was handled overall. Nothing we can do about it now, though. He's here, he's safe, he's with us. But Lord. Everybody loves him so much, and we're just happy that both Asia and him were able to come back home with us safely. Even though it was more of an extended stay than we wanted, and not the birthing plan initially.
We were in the hospital almost 5 days. Yeah, it was a long time, and I was ready to go. Okay, sick of the hospital.
So was Teo. Teo was ready too,
and he was sick of the people. Let me tell you. Okay, he was like, "Get me on out of here, please, get me on out of here." Yeah, there's just so many different things that like went on, and I'm sure we told the gist of it, but also too like we didn't really talk more about how we were impacted like emotionally.
But yeah, that is it. That is the story. Yes. We wanted to make sure we shared it with y'all. As traumatic as it was, we're here and we're thankful. Yes. And yeah, so if you take anything away from this, just make sure you advocate for yourself, advocate for your loved ones, because no one else is going to. And yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. That's all you can do is just advocate for yourself and make sure if something doesn't feel right, you say something. Yep. And yeah, trust your gut and just go with that. But yeah, comment down below any questions you guys have, or if you have any stories you want to share that you can relate to, or maybe you had a complete opposite experience, because like we said with Arlo, our first, it was completely different. We definitely did not go through the roller coaster of emotions. Yeah. And yeah, but comment down below, any thoughts you guys have.
And we hope y'all have a good Sunday. And we'll see y'all tomorrow for Vlogmas Day number 4. Vlogmas Day number 4. Vlogmas Day number 4. Vlogmas. Say Vlogmas. Blah, blah. It's so hard to say it. Vlogmas Day number 4.
All right. We're out of here.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.